This video is about why I will not be playing or covering Warborne Above Ashes. I just want to make an official video because I know a lot of my subscribers, a lot of my viewers are wanting me to play this. They are wanting me to cover it, make guides. They want me to switch from Albion and make Warborne. So the background footage is just something Albion Online related. I am recording the audio separate so that I can talk to you more directly without having my mind split between gameplay. So first, let me give you the story of Warborne Above Ashes and why or what happened between me and them. So, I heard of this game way before there was any social medias in the West for it. There was no YouTube channel for the West, no Discord, no Twitter, nothing. And so I've been following the game for a little while, and it was a complete Chinese game with, you know, on Chinese websites with Chinese streamers. And one thing that I noticed is it straight up took assets, allegedly. Now, I'm going to say allegedly a lot in this video just to protect myself legally. Not that I have any money to be sued from anyway. But the game is Unity, and I saw, allegedly, them using alleged other assets, allegedly, from other games that also use Unity, alright? And if you want me to elaborate, join the Discord, pass the Discord questionnaire. Anyway, on to the actual story. So, I was excited for this game. I was like, hey, an Albion clone, great. You know, I can finally change games. I can finally find a new home, a place where I'm loved and appreciated. Now, again, a lot of this stuff is personal reasons, so if you're watching trying to find a reason not to play it, none of my reasons are really going to vibe with you. This is purely to my subscribers as to why I'm not going to play it, okay? So anyway, as soon as they started making their Western social media, which is their, like, Steam page, their Discord server, everything, I was immediately all in, full in. Let me tell you, I was on their YouTube page when they had, like, 3 subscribers, right? I was in their Twitter following, you know, when they had maybe at most, like, 3 to 4 followers. I was, like, the 8th person in their Discord server, okay? Besides, it was, like, the devs and maybe like 1 or 2 people and then me or something, okay? And, you know, I followed all of their stuff immediately, right? But also, I contacted the devs. I was in their Discord talking to them, and I was like, hey, I'm Soul Benji. I'm this big YouTuber. I know that your game is directly competing with Albion, and I know that, you know, you guys need, you know, content creators to help spread the message, spread the word, make videos, make guides, make whatever content, and I told them straight up, I am all in 100%, and I will do it completely free. You don't have to pay me, you don't have to sponsor me, I don't need any money. I will do it, you know, pro bono. And the devs were delighted. They're like, oh wow, you know, and you're Albion's top YouTuber, blah blah blah, hey, welcome aboard, whatever. And you know, they were happy, they were enthralled, they were really grateful. And I was like, oh man, as soon as you know, get me access, we can get started with this. And they're like, yeah, eventually, right? And a lot of time passed, a whole lot of time passed, and I sat diligently, you know, participating in the Discord, being nice, being courteous, you know, not being mean or rude to anyone. And, you know, the word eventually spread around the Albion, especially the Albion community, about Warborne. And lo and behold, what I'm going to call riffraff started pouring into the Discord servers. Notably, a few massive, major, big guilds. Anyway, big guilds really don't like me because I hurt their bottom line, I hurt their recruitment, I spread the actual truth about how awful guilds are and how much of a waste of time and money they are. But, so these guilds did not like me, and they saw that I was active in this Discord, and it made them mad, it made them upset. So what did these guilds do? They started hard doxing, they started calling talking so much crap, spamming, posting gore, posting all sorts of messed up stuff in the Warborne Discord, right? And so the devs are like, hey man, what do you want us to do about this? And you know what I told them? I told them, I respect freedom of speech, don't do anything. Don't do anything. Let them talk crap. Let them dox. Let them do everything that they're doing. It doesn't bug me. I'm a public figure. I'm used to this. 7 times over, this is my 7th YouTube channel, if you are unaware. I am completely used to this behavior. That is fine. I don't care. They're beneath me. Whatever, right? Just get me into the next playtest. I just want in on the next playtest. I don't give a damn what these clans or guilds do or say. I'm just gonna, you know, play along and humor them. Whatever. Who cares? And day after day for weeks, these guilds were just non-stop yapping in the devs' ear. I'm pretty sure they were DMing the devs by the hundreds every single day, telling them all sorts of crap, trying to dissuade. They didn't want me to play. The whole guild's mission they were afraid that I would corrupt the game or solve it or something, and that it would ruin their ability to recruit, ruin their ability to do, the usual guild slop that guilds do. Now, at some point, the devs of Warborne started getting rather distant. They stopped talking to me. They stopped acknowledging me. And it's like I didn't really exist anymore, right? And so, I'm like, whatever, who cares? Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're, working. And here comes the first big closed playtest, right? That was invite only. Only certain people were getting in, handpicked by the devs themselves. And, well, I did not get in. And I would ask why. Hey, what happened? I literally pledged fealty to you. I promised to burn Albion's bridge down and only devote my channel to your game. And I would bring as many people from Albion as possible to play it. And nothing. They just wouldn't respond. They wouldn't talk to me anymore. They just pretended I didn't exist. And this playtest was going on. I'm like, why am I not allowed to play? What's going on? What's the deal, huh? And just complete ghost treatment. It's like they didn't reply anymore. I don't know what the deal was, but who got in? You know who got into those playtests? Those guilds. Those guilds got into those playtests, and I'm like, that's weird. I was here like months before they showed up, and I have like just me with my watch time, my watch hours, my view counts, etc. And for those that think, oh, your view counts are dead, Soulbin, you dead channel, your recent videos only have like 2,000 uploads, or 2,000 views or whatever. Bro, go to view stats, go to Social Blade. I have like 500,000 long-form views per month, right? My views are not dead. My backlog is pumping hard, okay? Anyway, this isn't really about my metrics. This is about me being nice and pledging that I will help a game literally for free. I want you to keep in mind, I'm offering to do this pro bono for free, no bag, no sponsorship, no money, no contract, no deals, just me being a YouTuber and being like, hey, cool game, let's play it, blah, 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 right? But they let these guilds in. These guilds have been doxing and posting, like, gore and all this other stuff, right? And no, I'm not grossed out. I was burping, okay? I'm not, like, gagging or anything. Now, anyway, right, I've seen that stuff since I was a child. I've seen violence since I was a little kid, okay? It doesn't gross me out. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that these guilds, they turn the devs against me. They, in their massive numbers, they work together to whisper in the devs' ear and make the devs not like me anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty messed up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm a forgiving person. I laugh at that because I'm not really a forgiving person. And I'm like, if you apologize and let me into the next playtest, I'll pretend like this injustice never happened, right? Whatever, just let me into the playtest, okay? Next playtest, nothing. Completely ghosted by the devs, absolute nada. Now, I talk to a lot of very much smaller and larger YouTubers. Now, the larger YouTubers I talk to are all political YouTubers. And the smaller ones I talk to are all MMORPG channels, all right? And who got into those playtests? They did. Not the political ones, they don't play video games. But the much, much smaller YouTubers, I'm talking, it would take 100 of these small YouTubers to even maybe get half the numbers that I get as me, right? And I understand this approach. Game devs, they, think of it like an apartment complex, all right? Would you rather rent one house to one tenant and make a lot of money and then risk that they move out one day and then you make no money? Or would you rather rent 100 small apartments to 100 people and when they move out, you suffer a tiny little loss, and those 100 people keep your money afloat? Well, that's the strategy a lot of current devs do. They don't go after the big YouTubers unless they're really, really rich and have a lot of advertisement money. And here's the thing, like, I'm offered to do it for free. No money required, nothing. Just completely free. Just be nice to me. Just be nice to me, and I will work for you for free. I don't care about money. We don't get to keep money when we die. And I ain't got much time left, so I don't care, right? And I ain't got no family or nothing to leave my money to, and I ain't gonna have kids, I'm too old, it's whatever. The point that I'm getting at is that I'm offering to, like, bring the Albion audience over as the top Albion, biggest, most viewed YouTuber, and if you still don't believe those numbers, go look them up on view stats. Alright, anyway, what I'm getting at is, second playtest rolls around. Not only do I not get invited to do it, they're paying thousands of dollars to these little baby YouTubers, $1,000 a video. Hey, make a 10-minute long video about our game. $1,102 will be deposited into your PayPal account or whatever. And of course, they take those bags, right? And every time you see a Warborne video that's like, today's sponsor is Warborne, you know that, yeah, they took that money, and it's fine, whatever. And it just hurts my feelings that I was the first guy in there, and with my size and the fact that I'm, the literal main guy of Albion, and I laugh at that. It's so weird to think about that. I didn't choose to be the main guy, okay? But the fact that they're just ignoring me, and they're just they're ghosting me because these two big Zerg guilds got into the dev's ear and told them a bunch of crap. I don't know what they told them, but or maybe they just made some. My guess is they just made something up or falsified something. I have no idea what the devs told them, but the devs they treat me like I don't exist, and it really hurt my feelings, right? But yeah, I just keep getting ignored, and then more and more people keep getting into these playtests, and then what I start seeing? I log into the Warborne Steam page, and I see I don't even know her name. I'm pretty sure it's a trans streamer named Momo Moni or whatever. Where's the choker? Yeah. Anyway, I see her, on the Steam page, streaming, and I'm like, oh, I see where this is going. And then another day I see frickin' Tommy. I see Tommy on the frickin'. Oh, I see him streaming on the Steam page. It's an old VOD video. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I check his YouTube page, like, oh, sponsored by Warborne. I'm like, oh, wow. And his YouTube page gets 13,000, the data I'm looking at, 13,194 views. I get more than that in a single day, right? And it's like, And so, at this point, I'm like, oh, so they're just doing Twitch streamers, right? Because, I mean, he's got, whatever, a following on Twitch. But we all know that the Albion category is highly, it's AFK skin viewers. It's AFK skin viewers. You can go to some of their chats, and no one talks for 4 to 5 minutes at a time sometimes. And it's like, And if I stream to 60 people here on YouTube, my chat doesn't go dead for more than 30 to 40 seconds. If it's 1 to 2 minutes, then it's because I'm AFK taking a piss or something, right? But essentially, yeah, it's if you go back before skin drops on Albion were ever active, and the player base was just as high as it is today, and yeah, so you'll see I don't think anyone in the Twitch category, they get 25 viewers, 40, 100 maybe, and the Twitch view botting controversy that's been going on, right? That was a big deal, and again, Twitch is just stupid. Twitch has dumb rules, right? But, part of me is a lot of these gaming companies, the developers, the publishers, there's a money thing going on between gaming and Twitch. I don't really understand it, but there's definitely deep-rooted stuff in there. And, because I don't do Twitch, maybe that was a decision, but I don't know, man. It's so fake. It's just so fake and weird. Now, there's one other thing, too. Now, I'm going to call this, proper etiquette or correspondence. And, when I look back at, I get all these shill emails. I get a lot of emails from these companies, from game devs, from just random people trying to sell crap, like exercise machines and furniture. And they're like, hey, would you like to feature our slop on your YouTube channel? We'll pay you money. We'll give you the product for free. And I always give them hell. And what's funny is I actually got an email way back in the day from, KeenGames.com, which I guess makes Enshrouded. I'm sure you've heard of Enshrouded. It became a pretty popular game, but they hit me up saying they needed content creators like you to play the demo and make content for it, right? And in the email tag, they actually sent the email to Tommy, and I was in the blind CC or blind carbon copy. And if you never sent email, that means that they sent a copy-paste email to a bunch of people, But when you normally send an email to a person, it has their address, and if they're blind, carbon copied, everyone else gets a copy of that email. And so I noticed it. I'm like, I'm not Tommy. What the frick, right? And so I sent I laughed at the guy for getting me to try to play his slop game. And I don't like Enshrouded. I think it's a crap game. So I laughed at him in the email, called him out for not blind carbon copying Tommy. And then I sent him a meme where I'm sitting all alone in a school lunch table, and all the other Albion creators are laughing at me on another table. And then it snaps to the next picture of the meme where we're all in hell, and they're all screaming in the lava suffering, and I'm laughing maniacally above them with Mogdun in the background reaching his hand out to try to stop me or something. I just make the most craziest schizoid memes, and I send it to these shills all the time. I once got emailed by someone to shill something from Singapore, and I sent them this really nasty fart sound in an email, and they emailed back that they were going to sue me for defamation, and I'm like, you mean defecation? Ooh, right? I just laughed at them because I ain't got no money, and they can't sue me. I'm in a freedom of speech place of the part of the world. I can literally send a fart sound to someone if I want to. But anyway, so, Tommy is like, I would be happy to play your game. It sounds like something myself in my community would enjoy if you send me a list of deliverables and blah, 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 blah. All this corporate mumbo-jumbo slop, right? But I just Googled it, and he never played Enshrouded. He never made content for it. So I'm guessing that they took me off the email list, which was the goal that I wanted. It's like, stop emailing me your slop games, right? And they probably gave him a bunch of, free keys for the game, and it doesn't look like he's ever made a video on it. Maybe he streamed it on Twitch. I don't watch his Twitch channel, so I wouldn't freaking know. But, yeah, he got a free game out of it, and Enshrouded never got content, so, ugh. But, I'm not always mean. If someone sends me a cool-looking game, I'll make a cool freaking video about it, and I tell everyone I wasn't paid to make this video. It's just a cool game that I thought was neat. Go check it out, right? Now, one of the reasons I've never really taken sponsors, even though I've had some very generous offers, I've been offered $10,000 to make Once Human content, which I was already doing anyway, and I told them, like, they wanted to restrict my freedom of speech and where I could only be a nice guy, friendly guy, and happy vibes, and I told them, no, that, my freedom of speech is not, like, there's no amount of money that will make me change my freedom of speech, right? But I know a lot of you don't realize that on the YouTube and Twitch game, like, a lot of the 99% of YouTubers and Twitch streamers are bag takers. They're either corporate shills or corporate entities. They're pretending to be a YouTuber when they're really they just work for the company. Kind of like how Lupac streams on Twitch, but he works for Albion Online kind of thing, right? But essentially, these bag takers, a lot of them don't realize that when they take a sponsorship, that the sponsor does everything they can to boost the video that they're paying for. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, some guy got sponsored by a video game and then the video game company is boosting their views. It could be the VPN they're shilling, or the blockchain garbage they're shilling, or whatever it is. And you can really see this in YouTube channels like Waydot. That's a big one that takes bags. I mean, he's not a big YouTuber, but you can notice the absolute wild, like, variety of, oh, this video has 6-figure views and this video has 4-figure views, and it's the sponsor. It's all the sponsor. It's not his viewership or his subscribers or anything, and it's purely the sponsor making that video pop off, right? And when you try to tell YouTubers like this, they just get mad and block you on Twitter. And when you really, really, really go down the rabbit hole and you follow the money and you do your investigations, you can really, really see just how bad and corrupt and messed up and scuffed this entire system is. And I've always been organic. I've always wanted, I do things on the regular to try to get rid of subscribers. I try to get rid of the Reddit normies. Like when I made Starfield content, I was trying to make a bunch of content towards the end to get rid of the ones that don't vibe with me, that don't match my persona or my energy. And it's pretty tough. And every once in a while, I'll dump out something, especially in the Albion category, that'll piss people off or make them upsetty spaghetti that, they hit subscribe because they want cool, hip guides. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, so Benji's a schizoid, lunatic, right? And if they think that of me, then they can go somewhere else. I would prefer if they did. But I have not found a genuine content creator that is hyped to play this game that hasn't taken the bag, that hasn't organically liked the game. Most of them are just the ones that aren't taking bags but aren't really considered content creators because of their size. They're too small. They just want a different flavor of Albion. They just want something else to do for a little while before they go back to Albion. But anytime you click a YouTube video, you look, as soon as the video starts, look in that top left corner and see if it says sponsorship or paid something. Usually it will say something like includes paid promotion. And from now on, any and all YouTube videos where anyone has this in their video whatsoever is completely compromised, and that video, the opinions of that video and everything within it should not be taken at face value. And I even say that there's people that take bags that I am okay with, like Sawman UK. He's a MMORPG channel. He's got some interesting humor. I played games with him. He's even donated money when I rarely stream, like once a year over here. I think he's a cool dude. And yeah, he takes the bag, and you just know when he's being fully honest and when he's being paid honest, okay? And even he's, he'll take a bag for a really crappy game like PAX Day, and then, after a while, whenever the, whatever agreement he came to with them is done, he'll trash the game, but he won't trash it nearly as hard as someone that never took the bag in the first place, okay? But anyway, back to Warborne and why I'm not gonna play it, okay? So I got completely ghosted, left out in the rain, and ignored. So even when I poured out my entire heart and soul to those devs, and they just tossed me out like yesterday's garbage, right? And even after all of that, I was like, you know what? Eventually went into a public playtest, a public beta, and I was like, okay, now's my chance to finally play and make content for the game. Regardless that the devs hate me and ignore me, that's fine. I'm used to that treatment. That's how Albion treats me, okay? Albion started out nice. I left World of Warcraft. I started making Albion content, the Albion TV dorks, and, the game masters and crap were all like, oh, wow, new content creator. Hello, welcome to the game. I was like, yeah. And then one day, I got muted, and I was like, why did I get muted for calling someone a hot dog? A hot dog is not an insult in any language as far as I'm aware. Can you get me unmuted? Hello, 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 what? What's going on? And then I just got mistreated after mistreated after mistreated, and then it just spiraled out of control where I puff out my chest because they puffed out their chest, and neither of us are ever going to back down. And even with the new, the new CEOs of Albion, the new company that took over Stillfront, I've emailed Stillfront, they ignore me. I emailed them as a rich multimillionaire investor, pretending of course, and they hit me back. They're like, oh yeah, we love investors, and I'm like, hey, check out Swolbidgy, can you help him out? And they're like, oh yeah, this guy's not really an investor, it's just Swolbidgy trolling. But I'm gonna continue to puff out my chest forever and ever until Albion's, game masters apologize, unmute me, and give me a handwritten apology. I demand it, all right? And once they do that, I'll be nice to the game again. But, I'm not going to do this entire roller coaster all over again with Warborne. I'm not going to go play Warborne and be at the throats of the devs and puffing out my chest and then puffing out their Chinese chest. It's a Chinese game, by the way. It's made in China, okay? China does not like America. China doesn't like most of the world, by the way. If these devs were in the United States or somewhere close to the United States, I could just fly out or drive out to their headquarters and talk to them in person. Sit down, have a Subway sandwich with them or something. So have a burger and just hash it out in person, right? But no, that ain't gonna. I ain't flying to China, never. But anyway, so I sit down during the public play test, like every other person ever, and I'm like, okay, let's give the game a chance. Let's play the game. So first off and foremost, the controls felt way off. Here's the thing: if you make a new game in 2025 and it's worse than games from 2003 or 4. You got a problem, sucker. All right, so first off, the controls felt worse than Albion, so why would I play it? The music sucked. The sound effects were bad. There was almost nothing to do as a solo player. There's no real there is a market, but you can't be a market player. I'm a market player in Albion. Secondly, the PvP is ass. It's just faction warfare. I play a lot of faction warfare in Albion. Albion has better faction warfare than Warborne's entire PvP system. There's also a thing that guilds can do to, really mess with solo or non-guilded players in zones, even from your own faction. I'm not going to say what, because I don't want to empower guilds in this game at all. But, It's bad, it's really unfun, and it ruins the game for solo players. Just join the guild. No, I won't. I will not. All right. So yeah, it's one of those clan games where the clans can just ruin your entire experience. But overall, the game just feels cheap, bad, and awful. The game sucks, right? Now let's go into an alternate universe where the devs were nice to me. I would have still been nice and made content for the game, despite not liking it and despite not not enjoying how the game feels, looks, or plays or whatever. But in this case, the devs ghosted me. The game sucks. It's not better than Albion. And even though Albion also hates me, like, I think it's funny that all these Twitch streamers are going to start playing, it's Warborne time, bunch of traitors. These guys get literal kisses on the cheek from the Albion devs. They get free premium. They get a special Discord, round table sitting. If you don't know what the round table is, it's where you get to learn about patch notes and game balance changes long before the public does, giving them a huge economic advantage. But other than that, it's funny that, the Albion's main creators are all like, let's go to Warborne, dude. It's so non-loyal. I get that, a lot of other content creators from countries where loyalty doesn't matter, I guess. But to me, loyalty is everything, is absolutely the main trait that I endear most. And so there's no reason to be loyal to Warborne. The game sucks. The devs don't like me. And also, as a YouTuber, I can look at metrics that shows how often people are searching for a game, and my entire YouTube channel relies on people searching for how to do things in video games. And when Warborne is only pulling half the numbers Albion is with all this hype, this launch hype, and yeah, the player count might jump up really high because of other countries, Asia, Russia, etc., which I don't get to target for search. I only target English speakers for search. But, if we take English speakers, search counts, they don't care. I've even went around to, like, hobby shops, comic book shops, arcades, nerd places in real life. And I'm like, I talk to MMORPG people and stuff, and I'm like, hey, y'all hear about Warborne, that new game? No one's ever heard of it. No one knows what the hell Warborne is, right? They don't freaking know. They'd rather play World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 14 or whatever, or RuneScape. So not only are the numbers not there for me to bother with the game, all right, also the game has a lot of pay-to-win mechanics. It's very similar to Albion with the premium stuff, which I hate. I absolutely hate that. The game sucks. The devs don't like me. I hope you got your answer why I'm not playing Warborne. Also, I think October 9th is Blue Protocol. I'm going to try that out, maybe. Those devs also ghosted me, but I didn't pledge my heart and soul to them. I just sent an email, hey, let me play test your game, and got nothing back. And what is that one game? Ashes of Creation. I send them an email once a month, hey, let me into your playtest. I can't afford the $100. I'm a YouTuber. You'll get your money's worth, and they just never do it. And that's probably because I ganked Steven Sheriff, who's the main guy that owns Ashes of Creation. I ganked him back in the what's that game called? In the Arc Age days. I was a very prominent ganker in Arc Age, right? Very prominent ganker and economy player. I was always ganking the top Twitch streamer of that game. I can't say his name because it's very rude. It's a very rude name, but he was a Korean player. And, yeah. Fun times with Arc Age. But anyway, guys, that's the video. I hate to rant. This video is purely for my subscribers and watchers, and again, I'm not playing Warborne. I don't care if you have a really big guild and I vibe with it, then maybe. But that's never going to happen. With all my reach and influence, I have yet to ever find a guild that I vibe with. So it's just what it is. And I'm just going to wait for something else to come out. I don't know. There's really nothing to play, but I'm not going to settle for Warborne. It's Chinese slop. Game sucks. Devs hate me. They made their choice. It could have been me on that Steam page streaming their game, but no, they chose Momomoni and Tommy666 and stuff. And it's like, okay, they made their choice. I hope they're happy with their choice, and I hope their game does well. I hope their game does amazing. Here's the thing. I still hope the game does well. I hope it does so well that Albion gets their crap together and fixes their damn game, okay? But I'm not going to play it, and I just hit my mic, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to play it, and sorry, that's just how it is. I'll see you later, I guess. make sure you leave a comment. Are you gonna play Warborne? Leave a comment. Let me know if you're gonna play it. I want to know how many of y'all are gonna play it. And click the video on the right side of your screen. And if you don't, your entire YouTube page is gonna be filled with shills and bag takers till the end of time. And I hit my mic again because I move my hands when I talk, okay? Whatever. Just click the damn video or I'm gonna die. I'm literally gonna die. My money is so down because algorithm change in August. Right? It's over, man. It's freaking over, dude. I'm too schizo to get a job. I'm just gonna go homeless. Screw it, whatever. Who cares? No one's gonna miss me anyway. Bye.